Mountain Resort and Ranch has been described in so many glowing phrases by those privileged to visit it. Located in the highland and deep tropical forest of Obanliku local government area of Cross River State, about 45 miles from the Cameroon border. It was once described by journalists visiting the plateau for the first time as Heaven's Gate. Another journalist described it as a place where the earth meets heaven. With a temperate climate hovering between 4 and 10 degrees Celsius between June and September and 32 degrees from November to January, the ranch was developed in 1951 by M. Macaulay, a Scottish rancher. This home to rare species of birds rises to about 5,200 feet above sea level, with its peak standing at about 1,716 meters above sea level. It is the perfect getaway from banditry and savagery. It is a planet within a planet. Though Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch has been in existence for many years, it was Donald Duke, governor of Cross River State, between 1999 and 2007, who upgraded it to world-class status. Duke's goal was to turn it to Africa's largest and most beautiful tourist destination. He constructed high-catching buildings, hotels, spas, shops, restaurants, and sporting facilities for the pleasure of patrons. He also constructed a presidential lodge. Little wonder, former presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, the late Umar Yar'Adua, and Goodluck Jonathan found the place suitable for retreats and high-caliber meetings. Indeed, its idyllic tranquility made it so ideal for such presidential events. Duke's agenda was to make Cross River State the best in Nigeria when it comes to tourism. He gave Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch so much attention. He introduced the cable car as a means of accessing the peak of the mountain and draw traffic to the facility. He also constructed the dairy and honey factories, constructed the baby airstrip to reduce travel time for tourists going to Obudu Resort. He constructed 20 units of 3-bedroom wooded villas, dubbed the Mountain Villas, as well as 10 African huts with 20 rooms. He constructed the water grotto, as well as a helipad behind the presidential lodge. With Obudu Mountain Resort patrons finding it difficult to access cash, Duke brought GT Bank to the Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch. Recently, I visited the Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch for the first time. It was a near complete negative turnaround, a story of abject neglect by administrations in the state since Duke's departure. The buildings are now in a dilapidated state.
It's a windy morning here at the Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch. In front of us is this valley, so deep it looks endless, and it reinforces the point that this plateau rises up to 5,200 meters above sea level. It is a fantastic place to have meetings, conferences, and good holiday for families. But one fact stands out: the potential of Obudu remains largely unexplored, largely untapped.
The water grotto has ceased to function. GT Bank has since left the ranch. The sports facilities have literally given way. The cable car facility is still in place at Bottom Hill, but nobody goes there these days. The neglect of the facility has inevitably led to a massive drop in patronage. I spoke with engineer Killer Anthony, one of the team of road engineers that built the famous Intestinal Road leading to the resort. He spoke on the challenges experienced building the road up the Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch, and how the resort had been neglected over the years.
This road was awarded to Mothercat Construction Company by the Donald Duke administration. It wasn't easy. They needed to climb from the bottom of the hill with materials from Ikom. We were getting materials from Ikom, from Okuni in Ikom. So they were carrying materials from Ikom to the ranch. When they get down at the bottom of the hill, they will take their time, and gradually they will be coming gradually. We had some cases of accidents where during the process when we were laying asphalt, a steel roller operator, in fact, lost his two limbs, his two legs. He lost them, but he didn't die. What I experienced before was because the initial governor, Donald, had a good vision for the place. He was bringing in customers from far and near. He initiated ideas, things like the mountain race, things like the Calabar Carnival, things like, bringing artists, performing artists, the Tinapa, they were bringing these things to Cross River State, and these people that used to come from far and wide would like to come and spend their time up the ranch. But today, we don't have those things happening again. The whole place is as dead as a cemetery because there's no activity, no business activity. The governor has total, no bank. The bank is not working. The cash center is not working. The cable car they will claim is working. It will only work if Governor Ayade comes here. If the governor does not come here, the cable car does not work. Because of what? Poor financing or poor management, and lack of interest entirely by the Cross River State government to run the place.
A former councillor in Obudu noted that things began to assume a downward trend with the departure of Donald Duke, whom he described as a tourism-inclined governor.
Yeah, then Donald Duke, the governor, of Cross River State was the person who brought all the development that we have in the ranch. When he assumed duty, one of his cardinal policy was the development of tourism, and he took into consideration the fact that ranch is one of the tourist attraction, and he brought all the developments that we have, the roads, especially the cable car. He brought the cable car, all the new facilities, the structures we have now in the ranch that give the ranch its beauty. Were all that the presidential lodge, the conference center, all the huts you can find around were all done during his administration. As soon as he left government, because the challenge we have with the Nigerian politician is sustainability. The people who took power after him started thinking of their own policy, because everybody comes to power with his own policy. His own was tourism development. The other person who came was royal development. The Lee administration emphasis was more on development of royal communities, roads, school building, health centers, and didn't look more on tourism. And then the worst in this other administration, where they have their own objective completely.
Lack of electricity supply is one of the big reasons for rapidly declining patronage at Obudu Resort. Minister of State for Power spoke on how lack of electricity supply was a disincentive for people who would have loved to patronize the Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch.
I would like to agree with you that it was a big problem. I come from this community. I'm a farmer. I have a farm up here and a farm down the hill. Okay. Before I became Minister of State for Power, Minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I came often to my farm, and I come with many people most of the time. So if I come in here, I first of all pay for hotel and accommodation, boarding and feeding. Then the light, the generator here goes off at 10 p.m. And you know, we come from Abuja by road. By the time, if you leave half day from Abuja, you get here about 9:30, 10 p.m. Now, or 9:30, the light is going. So from 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they bring back the light at 6 o'clock. So in the morning, it goes at 10 p.m. and comes at 6 a.m. So you have to pay 20,000 naira per hour for diesel, for light. So 6 hours, 8 hours of light is 160,000 naira per night, apart from the hotel bills. That's a big turn-off. But we had to do that for a long time. And I suffered that, so I realized that it's not good. And the people here were business was going down. Most people stopped coming. So if I came to farm, for instance, rather than come with 5 people, I'll come in the daytime, do all I have to do, and go back to the bottom hill or to the town in Obudu and stay, and come back the following day, which itself is hazardous. But we had to do that. And then I thought about it and I said, if this can be done, this program is under me and can be done. So the opportunity given by God, as it were, I seized it and decided that this community deserves, and the hotel, the resort here is world class. It's known all over the world, and it was going down the drain. So with light, I envisaged that it was going to improve and things will pick up again, and I'm hopeful that it's happening that way here today.
Matthew Julius is the general manager of the resort. He praised the staff of the facility for their dedication to work, and speaks on what it needs desperately and why it remains truly special.
Business has really not been favorable because of certain things I met on ground. The structures, the facilities have really depreciated. So it's really not what I expected. So that is my experience. If I will flash back over years, I know government really intervened during the days of Donald Duke. That was when business was really booming here due to intervention. There were business drives from all over the state to Obudu. So I want the government to do the same, come in fully, support this business. We have to look at the facilities, rework on them, rebrown them, and then it becomes habitable for customers to come and live comfortable. Obudu Mountain Resort is a very, very special place. Very special place. The climate makes the place unique. It's very far from urban cities, cut out from crowd, from noisy disturbance and other businesses. So it's a place best for honeymoon couples that they can come and relax. It can also it can also bring people from urban cities for conferences. We have an international conference center that can accommodate over 250 to 300 persons. We have other smaller rooms for smaller groups. So it's completely out of the town. You come here and you have a quiet time.
Folonsho Koka, Director General of the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, tells me what needs to be done to return Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch to its years of glory.
What I've seen here is a very solid and robust tourism asset. I look at the buildings. The buildings were obviously built when cement was cheap. The design was simple. It's a ranch.
Yes.
It's Obudu Cattle Ranch, and this is the ranch. It's a huge tourism asset that is a bit run down, has a lot of charm, and the possibilities for the resort, the ranch, and the whole economy around here and that depends on this place. It's endless, it's phenomenal. It's something I think we should pay a lot more attention to. There are two sides to look at it. One is what exactly is lacking here. I am here today because one of the things that's lacking here is being addressed, and that is power. And we all know the multiplier effects of power. The minute you put energy into something, there's 24 hours electricity. That means that you can process water, you can refrigerate food, the restaurant can stay open longer, the lounge can stay open longer, lights are on, security is on, communication is better. The multiplier effect is endless. There is a requirement for an upgrade. And I talk about the upgrade in the context of the physical structures. The superstructure is fantastic. Yes. But if you look at the wood needs to be sandpapered and varnished again, the curtains need to be changed, the furniture needs not to be thrown away, no new furniture, just reupholster it. The windows oiled, it's the first place I have ever been where the pressure for cold water is low and the pressure for hot water is high. So if you run a bath or you want to take a shower, you turn what you think will be the cold water to hot, you just won't get that pressure, it's reversed. We've both been down and up the hill. The road is fantastic. There's some slight erosion that I think needs to be checked very quickly before it starts to, erode a very good road. The curb that goes all the way down is fantastic. The gardens are good, but it just needs, everything just needs a little attention.
One of the symbols of the greatness of the Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch was the Obudu Ranch International Mountain Race. The 11.25 kilometer race that took place in late November was dubbed the world's richest mountain race. This was because its $227,000 prize money was the highest available for a mountain race. Little wonder it attracted some of the top runners in the world. Today, the Obudu Mountain Race, another brainchild of Donald Duke, is no more. The Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch The Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch cable car is an iconic fixture of this tourist destination reputed for its spectacular scenic beauty. At more than 11 kilometers, it is the longest cable car system in Africa. But what is the state of the cable car at Obudu now? Please come with me.
What was it like working at the cable car facility of the Obudu Mountain Resort?
The system is still working, not like working like it's in operation. It's just that we don't have enough guests, occasions to keep the system on. That's why it is like this. But if we have plenty people, we have a crowd, we'll drive them up.
What was a normal day like in those days?
A normal day in those days, like 600-700 people. But if we have occasions,
use the cable car.
Yes, but if we have occasions like the mountain race, the Christmas, Easter, New Year, we have carried thousands of people on this system every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what were you charging at that time?
It was 1,500 for a return ticket.
Wow.
Now we are charging 5,000.
Did people really fret about?
Yes, if you use the system for the first time, it's frightening. But if you pay for a return,
yes,
you take one way. By the time you are coming back, you'll be
more relaxed.
Yeah. The government has given us solar. And Obudu, as it is here, it's not only state government that can manage this facility. It's way above state government. If federal government can come and partner with the state government, I think this place will be paradise on earth. Wow. So you are arriving from your trip, as you are arriving from where you are coming from to visit Obudu, yes, and you want to use the cable car, this is where you board from here. This is outgoing, incoming. You are going to the ranch, and you are coming from the ranch. This is the bull wheel that turns the entire system.
Yes.
We have the same bull wheel up there. So as you start the system, the bull wheel turns, it is moving the cabins. And the cabins are installed, their spacing is factory spacing. They don't clamp themselves together.
How many units of those cables?
We have 34.
34.
Two executive, one maintenance, one cargo cabin, and the rest are passenger cabins.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's 8 persons for one cabin.
But the installation and inauguration of an off-grid power facility at the Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch has put smiles on the faces of stakeholders here and rekindles hopes of a revival of the tourist resort.
I would like to see it at least function the way it used to when it was newly commissioned and newly opened. There was a whole lot of activities. There were a whole lot of activities that were taking place here. A lot of people were coming here for conferences, for a holiday, for meetings, for all sorts of things. And I would like to see that, yes, even presidents were coming here, a lot of people. Even from outside the country, people were coming from all over the world. People were coming. So at least I would like to see it back to that state that we saw it, to that bubbling state that we saw it when it was initially commissioned. Well, it looks like, since it's not functioning the way it was functioning at that time, that's the way it will seem. But I'm not with the Cross River State government, so I can't really tell if it is a deliberate neglect or a neglect due to maybe oversight, but I would like to see it come back to what it used to be.
Restoration of electricity will not solve all the problems at Obudu Resort. The Ben Ayade administration in Cross River State will have to show more than a passing interest in the facility and invest sufficiently in its rejuvenation.
As governor of Cross River State, between the year 1999 and the year 2000, Donald Duke had a vision
of turning the Obudu Mountain Resort and Ranch into a truly world-class tourist destination. He invested his time, his energy, his zeal and inventiveness into ensuring that that dream came true. Today, this facility is a pale shadow of what it used to be during the Donald Duke era. The question is, who would help this facility to reclaim its past?